It's your boy Mullah. So we got that fire. We back in the building. We was Skip and Uncle Shay. What's poppin', man? Let's get it cracking. Is this about the Clippers?
Welcome to Undisputed.
I'm
We
not
are
sure,
live
y'all.
from LA. I'm Jenny
I'm
Taft
guessing
here
it
with
gotta
Skip
be about
Bayless
the
and
Clippers.
Shannon Sharp. Guys, good morning.
Uncle Shay happy. It gotta be about the Clippers.
Diet Mountain. No, over that. The breakfast of champions, the nectar of the gods. I am now due 3 more cases of dew thanks to you and your Hawks because I gave you and your Hawks 6.5 points. And I covered easily because Ice Tray was cold. It was cold.
I was in Utah. I didn't see the game. I was in Utah.
You were in Utah.
I was in Utah. Spider Mitchell. Yeah.
You were in Utah for it. Well, gosh.
Boy,
all right, we got to start
you
there
saw
then.
them. You saw them
Skip's
Hawks
Clippers
lose, man.
couldn't keep their
Bad.
Game 7 momentum
end.
rolling yesterday as they lost their second-round opener to the Jazz, 112-109. Donovan Mitchell led all scorers with 45 points, which was 2 more than the 43 points Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combined for. Still, LA had a chance to tie the game in the final
It's all
seconds,
good.
but Rudy Gobert blocked
Game
Marcus
2,
Morris's
they gonna
game-time
work it out.
quarter 3 attempt, and Utah walked away with the W. So, Shannon, should the Clippers be encouraged or discouraged by their game 1 loss?
I don't know why the hell they would be encouraged.
They should be.
Utah missed 20 straight shots in the first quarter. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well all night, at least the first half. You had a 13-point lead at the half. Donovan Mitchell had 13
The
points.
two
Seemed to be
stars
confined-
only had 43
and then
points,
he
huh?
exploded in the second half. They should be discouraged because what's the likelihood, Skip, that Joe Ingles is going to go 1 from 8 again from 3, and Royce O'Neal's going to be over. When I look at it, Skip, there's something that's going on with you guys. Is that Paul George is who we thought he was. Now in his last, he went 7 of 15, 5 of 15, 6 of 15, and 4 of 17. He's 10 for 30 from the 3-point line. He got outscored. He and Kawhi got outscored by Spider Mitchell by himself. You good with that? Now I want to know why Marcus Morris Sr. attempted that shot. Because Kawhi had the ball, Paul George had the ball. Now this is 3 times that we know of. Paul George has given up the final shot. He gave it up when he was in Indiana and said, CJ got to give me the ball back.
Yep.
He gave it up to Terrence Mann the other night. And he just gave it up again. Now I want to know why Kawhi didn't take that shot. Because you know Kawhi, the king of LA. Scorsese got the
I don't know why
now.
he ain't taking it out.
New king of LA. Never make the script. Never make the stream, Skip. They should be very discouraged because I don't know if you're going to get an opportunity to have this big of a lead. A team missed 20 straight shots and you don't bury them. And I thought they would come out a little rusty. We talked about it yesterday, Skip. I said, when a team gets off
They
this
gotta
much
start
it's like,
Rondo.
the last team that came up, and I understood. So maybe
Bring Jackson off the
leg got a little
bench.
heavy because they did go 7 rounds. There was 7 games, and it was 7 hard games. But another thing that should be discouraging, Utah won this game without Mike Conley. Mike Conley going to come back, I would like to think, at some point in time, but they might not need it. They might not need it. They look good on Spider-Man. They started did it, and D-Wade on the sideline. D-Wade say, gotcha, buddy.
So what do you got? Jazz in 4?
No. I got the Jazz. You got the Clippers.
I do.
Okay,
I love the Clippers.
No, you don't. What did you? Oh, and Spider Mitchell said something. Did you see him at the start of the 4th quarter?
I did.
What did he say, Skip Bayless?
He spoke the truth. What did he say? Say it.
He said, if we go on out here and jump on them, they're gonna get ready for game 2.
Because they just came off Game 7 just 48 hours ago, right? Did he say that? Wait, say what he said. No. You brought it up. You got to speak it.
But you said
speak it in its entirety.
Whoa. But with LeBron James, you said guys shouldn't get tired.
Oh.
Why do they get to get tired and nobody else?
Is it my turn?
One more thing.
Okay.
What did Rudy Gobert say, though? Rudy Gobert said, I knew they were going to pass to DeMarcus Morris because them chumps ain't want to take the final shot. That's what Rudy said. Rudy said, I knew who was going to take the ball. You got Paul George. You got Kawhi. Kawhi's a 2-time finals MVP. Paul George is an all-NBA player. Both are perennial all-stars. And they passed the ball to Marcus Morris.
Yep.
Now let LeBron James. Now you say, why wouldn't LeBron shoot it? Shoot it, LeBron. Kawhi the king of the mid-range. Kawhi, Paul George, y'all great 3-point shooters. That's
Hey,
what
they
Skip
ain't
Bayless tell me.
shooting. You right, man. You called
Y'all
right
in
there.
trouble. Y'all in trouble.
That was your shot right
Keep
there.
talking, I'm going to say 5.
That's your shot.
Say one
Here
word,
your
I'm
shot
going to say
again.
5.
One word.
5.
For how many? 5 cases?
5. You're going at 5.
5 cases
5
for 5?
for 5.
Thank you.
5 for 5.
Ah, diet, the breakfast of champions, the nectar of the gods. I got so much to do. I'm going to have to build a 4th swimming pool in my backyard. I don't have enough room
Can
for
I get my
it.
3 cases back on Friday's game?
Yeah, I'll do that. When we get to Friday,
okay,
we'll get to that.
okay.
But right now, we have to address game number 1, and I believe it is now officially my turn.
You on the clock.
I don't
Let's
have
go,
a clock.
Skip.
You just spent the whole show with all of your baloney that you spewed all over the table.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me refresh my memory. Yesterday, you picked who to win this game? Utah.
Yeah, so Utah. Yeah.
Yesterday, I picked Utah to win this game. Okay. Yesterday, I first guessed everything that happened. I said that Kawhi would be running on empty, literally running, and then I amended it to trotting on empty because he just played 2 of the most Jordan-esque games I had ever seen him or maybe anybody else play. Game 6 and 7, he was Jordan-esque, and you agreed with that because he was special.
He was spectacular, yes.
And I believe it was the greatest playoff comeback in NBA playoff history, where my Clippers were down 0-2 Friday night at Dallas. They lost the first 2 games at home, and they're down 30-11 in Game 3 before a packed, crazed crowd at Dallas, and somehow came back and won that game and Game 4, and then went home and spit the bit and threw up all over themselves and lost Game 5 at home. So they lost 3 straight playoff home games to the same team and managed to rally back and win Game 7 finally against that team. And it took a lot out of them and especially out of him. So I did not expect much from the Clippers last night. In fact, truth be told, I thought they would get blown last night. And the truth was,
They came out blazing.
Encouraged because they did have a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
And as bad as they were in the third and parts of the fourth quarter, it went down to the last shot. They had a last shot to force overtime in Game 1, and you're saying they should
That's
be
a good sign.
discouraged? They're dancing
That's a
this
good
morning.
sign.
They're like, we got this.
You had a 13-point lead at
That
the
is
half, though.
correct. And I'm not discouraged by the second half, but I was disappointed because I believe a team that was more decorated, a team that maybe had won a couple of championships, would have smelled blood and realized, hey, we're all gassed physically and psychologically. We know that. But at halftime, they all look at each other and say, wait a second, they're trying to hand us one here. We can steal Game 1 at Utah, and it's a hard place to play.
Could have
You know,
stolen.
it gets
That's
loud
cool.
in
They
there.
only
I
did
could
what they
barely hear
supposed
the
to do,
announcers
Uncle
last night.
Shay.
And the point was that a more decorated team, a veterans team that had won maybe a couple of championships would have said, hey, let's just suck it up and reach down and give all we got because
Suck
we
it
can
up,
rest in
buttercup.
Game 2. We could steal Game 1, and that's all we need is Game 1.
Skip, you talking about Kawhi's won championships, Rondo's won championships,
Well, not
Chauncey
as a
Billups.
team. He hasn't won it as a Clipper.
What I'm saying, Ty Lue is a championship
Yeah.
winning coach. Chauncey Billups won one as a player.
Let's see. Marcus Morris has won how many? Paul George, how many?
So why he taking?
Nicholas Batum, how many?
So why he taking
Big
the last
Sue,
shot?
how many?
See,
How far do I have to go down the list?
But you say this is a Kawhi team.
Reggie Jackson.
This Kawhi town.
Okay,
You the
that's
man.
correct. That is exactly right. So, what did I see
Don't
last
worry
night?
about it. He was
I
in
saw them
Utah.
have a
Wait till you go
13-point
home.
lead because it wasn't
gonna
rust
win one,
that
he gonna
got
steal
the Jazz.
one.
I think it was nerves
Game
because
2,
they came out and they
and
said,
they
we
gonna
gotta
go
do
home,
this. We gotta
and they gotta
protect
take
home
care of their
court.
business at
And
home.
they missed 20 straight shots. in the
20
first half.
straight.
20 straight shots. And then Donovan Mitchell comes out and scores 16 in the third and 16 in the fourth. That's hard to do.
Yes.
That was also special. I
Yes.
give you that. And yet, at some point, you just got to say, we got to get the ball out of his hands. If Joe Ingles is going to beat us, so be it.
Thank
That's
you.
what you have to do. And they didn't do it with Luka early. And now it's time to start
Y'all
doing
that
it
spider
with
cook, y'all,
Spider.
man.
I'll just call him Donovan because Donovan Mitchell just went fire and eyes hot in third and fourth quarter.
Skip, maybe they thought it was the bubble. Because remember, he dropped 57, dropped 50 on the Nuggets. He had those monster games, him and Jamal Murray going back and forth. And maybe they thought it was the bubble.
And
But
wait
this
a
kid can
second.
play.
He can play. Love him. I always loved him.
Yes.
In fact, I argued for
That's
him.
the truth, man.
I argued that he should have been Rookie of the Year, and you were
I
Ben
said the
Simmons
same
for
thing,
Rookie of the
Skip.
Year.
Skip, I didn't see
Remember
this
that?
in Louisville, Skip.
Okay, well, I didn't. Nobody saw that. Okay, but the point was that what happened in the bubble to that team? They were up 3
3-1,
games to
yes,
1.
yes.
Oh, so they got a little scar tissue too,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So we got two teams with some psychological scar tissue here that they have to fight through and work through. So we'll see how your Utah in 5 goes, because I love my side of that bet. Okay. So here's.
Well, they all have. I got Utah in 5. Skip got the Clippers, I guess, in 6, maybe 7. I say Clippers in 6. You feel me? Clippers in 6. I feel the Clippers gonna win the next game, both at home. Probably lose when they go back to Utah, and then win at home. That's how I see. I don't know. Y'all tell me. It's your boy Mullah. This week got that 5, man, and I'll be back with another one. I'm out of here.